Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, of course, we're talking about WWE King and Queen of the Ring. There has been crowned the new King and Queen of the Ring. And we're going to talk about that and the implications for this coming SummerSlam, because it was announced, I believe, on Friday by Triple H, the game, Paul Levesque, that the winners... Thursday. That the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring would be receiving title shots at SummerSlam. So, Larson, it looks like Gunther, the ring general, with a crazy finish to that match, by the way, which seemed to be, according to our chat anyways. I have not looked at social media yet to see what the read is over there, what the general idea is. But kind of a controversial finish, perhaps.
Is it because Randy had one of his shoulders up?
I would think so. I mean, that's why a lot of people in the chat were kind of complaining about that. I didn't really have a problem with that. I thought the finish was fine. But Gunther and Nia Jax are going to be getting title shots at SummerSlam. Now, when this was announced, you and I talked about it a little bit, and you were like, hey, does this change your pick for King and Queen of the Ring? For Queen of the Ring, I felt it was still going to be Bianca or Nia, which was on the predictions form. Once Nia beat Bianca, I was surprised by that. Figured it would be Nia coming out of this as Queen of the Ring, setting her up against Bayley at SummerSlam. And then Gunther tonight, after his victory, declared that he'd be going after the World Heavyweight Championship. There is a lot of sort of cloudiness around that picture because tonight Triple H announced Drew McIntyre's been cleared. He's walking into Clash at the Castle with a title shot against Damian Priest. How do you see this all shaking out?
So when Triple H announced the match at Clash between Drew and Damian Priest, I was kind of wondering if Drew would win at Clash, so he'd have about a month and a half reign as champion, face Gunther at SummerSlam. Maybe Punk comes back at SummerSlam. Now that he's, in theory, cleared, ready to go for a match, cost Drew the title there to really kickstart their feud through the fall. And then Gunther can walk into Bash in Berlin as the World Heavyweight Champion. That would seem to be the most likely scenario, I would guess. But yeah, when Triple H announced that, I was like, okay, there's just a lot going on in the World Heavyweight Championship scene on Raw. I thought maybe Gunther would walk into Bash at Berlin getting a title shot. Not necessarily as champion, which I guess still could be the case. He doesn't, just because he has a title shot at SummerSlam doesn't guarantee a win. Although, the run he's on since losing the Intercontinental title, seems inevitable that he'd win the title there at SummerSlam. Whereas a title program between Orton and Cody for SummerSlam especially made a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
A ton of sense.
Yeah.
And they teased it on SmackDown this week, where there's a .com thing, where there's a little backstage bit with Cody and Randy. So, all that in mind, I was like, all right, I'm going to roll with Orton here. I didn't have a whole lot of confidence in it, but I thought in terms of the direct line to who's going to get the title shot at which show, Orton Cody. Especially if it's face versus face, in a situation where, as a result of winning this tournament, Orton guarantees himself a title shot. Well, then you don't have to have any challenges. You don't have to have anybody turn heel on anybody. Orton won the tournament. He gets the title shot against Cody. Because at this point now, Orton's ridiculously over. He's getting, hey, he's doing good work plus legacy pop.
Yeah, he's getting a big, And
not to say Randy can't do what is necessary for, an effective heel turn. Of course he can. But I just kind of thought it just makes sense. Have Orton, have Gunther dominate the match. Hubris gets the best of him like it did at WrestleMania. And Orton hits him with an RKO 1, 2, 3. I thought that's kind of how it was going to go. It didn't end up going that way. Orton hit his RKO, but Gunther kicked out.
Yeah, rolled him right up. Shoulder wasn't down, but they seem to be glossing over that.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily going to be a story beat per se.
I don't think they're going to run that back or anything to correct for it. It is what it is. The thing that I think is probably the more what the hell is going to happen here, because you bring up a scenario where Drew wins and then less than 2 months later he's done as world champion, where Damian Priest is going to be sitting at about the same amount of time as world champion, which I've been an advocate for. Hey, let's bring a little bit of that attitude era. This title switches hands a bunch, attitude into philosophy, I should say, into the world title scene. But I'm also kind of the mind that I'll believe it when I see it. I think it's entirely possible that Drew does win at Clash because they're in Scotland and you want that crowd to absolutely explode.
Yes.
But man, then Gunther wins, maybe not at SummerSlam, but at Berlin, which is like 2 weeks later, I think. That's a really quick 3 weeks later. That's a really quick turnaround.
It is.
They could push Punk until WrestleMania because that's sort of his story now, if you will. But man, I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot to digest. But I mean, it's a good problem for, I think, Triple H to have right now because they are really, really strong contenders and they all have really strong stories to be told. But I can't claim to know how they're going to go about this. You have, like, if the idea is, okay, these two things have to happen. Gunther has to win in Berlin and Drew has to win in Scotland, which I think are givens. I think those are givens. I don't know how they do this without Drew unless Gunther.
Here's a possibility.
Yeah.
What if Monday on Raw, Gunther gets on the mic and says, I won King of the Ring, and due to that, I have a guaranteed title shot. And I'm not saying I like this. This just popped in my head, so I'll proffer it for conversation. Rather than getting the opportunity at SummerSlam, I'll wait and get it in Berlin.
Push 3 weeks and get it in Berlin. Yeah. Yeah, that's a possibility.
But if that's something they knew they were going to do going into this, why not just say, all right, they get a title match at a point of their choosing, not like a Money in the Bank situation, not like a cash in, but it guarantees them a title shot. So
yeah. Who's this? Bobby Bless here in our Twitch chat says, so Ilya maybe wins at Money in the Bank and challenges Gunther at Bash at Berlin. I mean, if you want to rip the roof off the place, maybe you do that. I don't know. I mean, that Ilya adds a whole other element because of Gunther, but I feel like they could probably push on that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. The other thing I proffered during the stream was after Gunther's win was maybe they go fatal 4-way for the title because they're going to have a big one-on-one anyways for the Undisputed Championship. With Cody at SummerSlam, there'll probably be a one-on-one anyways.
Yeah, it might very well be with Orton for all we know. Yeah.
So with the world title, maybe you can go fatal 4-way Priest, Gunther, Drew, Punk, and then Gunther coming out of this not having been pinned but not winning either can say, "Hey, I didn't get my solo shot. I want to do this shit in Berlin." He gets the solo shot there. Drew still ends up. Because boy, I don't know. Drew only having like a 2-month title run is kind of is where it sort of.
Well, if they want to do the thing where, like in the Attitude Era, where you had 5 people who could legitimately be world champion,
they would pass that title around.
They would pass that back and forth amongst the 5 of them on a fairly regular basis. There was not a lot.
The shit would happen on Raw.
Yeah. I mean, it was like Austin's longest reign was during the Invasion.
Yeah, right. His first reign, I think, was 3 months?
Something like that. Actually, won at WrestleMania, and then it was WrestleMania to the summer. Yeah.
Kane got it off him, and then Undertaker somehow got it, and then they gave it. I forget. Undertaker
Austin,
got it somehow, and then it was back to SummerSlam, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I like that because it's kind of a confusing scene, and I hope that it serves also in part to help.
Well,
Damian
don't say
Priest.
Confusing, competitive,
unpredictable.
Yes.
And I hope it serves to help out Damian Priest raise his profile a bit because as champion, he's got
no profile.
Kind of no profile. Like they couldn't even do a video of him this week saying, "Hey, Damian, what do you think about somebody?" He's like, "Oh, I'm not going to make it past Clash."
Oh, I know. And like, why? Hey, Damian, why come you don't have a match on this pay-per-view? Oh, no, it stepped up to be worthy of a title opportunity. Give us that at least.
Nobody could find me because no one really.
No one on Raw is going to rise to face Damian Priest. Sure, Damian.
Okay, Damian. Oh man. Anyways, also Nia Jax with probably the finish of the night.
Oh, that was incredible.
Finish without saying.
Gosh darn
just
it, that was
a
so cool.
terrific match against Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria, it's not that hard.
And just absolutely crush her with an annihilator. What a terrific match. What an absolutely terrific run for Nia Jax. I would love to see her pick up this title at SummerSlam. Not sure what the odds are going to be of that. Bayley's been basically non-existent as a champion since WrestleMania, which is a disappointment to be sure. But in any event, and they seem to be lining up, they're giving Bayley like, oh, she's going to be the underdog because coming up at the Clash of the Castle, you probably got Piper Niven. It seems like they're setting that up. And then you have, another larger opponent in Nia Jax. I think the spotlight for Nia Jax is absolutely deserved. I had said this during our predictions. I thought it was going to be Bianca, but Queen Nia has a great ring to it. Queen Jax, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
And in terms of that type of heel, king or queen of the past, like we've seen with Booker T, with William Regal, having a heel in that spot that can really sort of, take that title to the next level and add that to their snarkiness, to their sarcasm, to their personality. I love that kind of stuff, and I think Nia is going to be great in that role.
Yeah, because we saw two different approaches to winning the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, where you had Nia wear the crown, seemingly embraced the gimmick of being Queen of the Ring, whereas Gunther, that crown was not touching his head.
So they did the thing. Triple H did the thing where like she got down on a knee and he crowned her. Yeah. And then, but with Gunther, he just kept on putting it here, there, everywhere, except on his head.
Yeah. He knew the image of him wearing that crown. That doesn't fit his character. No way.
So you think it's your prediction we're never going to see that on his head?
unless someone makes the point of doing it to him. He will. I don't think he's ever going to willingly put that crown on his head.
Like a sign of disrespect, somebody shoves it on his head. Wow. Yeah. I think it was Brittany in our chat who said, "I'm telling you, that thing is too big for his head. It would just slink down. Maybe he's got to get it fitted first, and then he'll wear it."
It could be like what King John in the Robin Hood movie.
Which one? The Costner one?
No, the animated one.
Oh, wow.
Isn't the crown too large for the Lion?
That sounds right. That sounds right. It's been like 40 years since I've seen that. No, it's good. It's all good. That was when I was a kid. It was that and The Sword and the Stone.
Yeah, those are the Disney movies that era. Yeah,
I haven't seen either of those in 40 years.
The Robin Hood animated one has a very languid pace. It's a really chill movie.
Kids had more attention spans back then.
Yeah.
By necessity, we had to. That's what they were giving us back then.
Yeah.
Anyways. Of course, Cody Rhodes took on Logan Paul.
Oh, yeah, the crown was too big for his head because it kept on falling over his face. That's right.
Okay, there you go, yeah. Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. Sort of knew how this was going to go. I guess the most interesting thing about this was the number of crossroads it took to put away Logan Paul. 3 for the champion, the United States champion, as opposed to 1 for AJ Styles.
Yeah. The disrespect to AJ. But, yeah. That's kind of the only question of Cody Rhodes matches going forward until, I don't know, he faces The Rock or something.
Until the final boss comes back.
Is how many crossroads is going to take. This was an enjoyable match. They had some clever spots. It was fun. Of course, Logan being the heel goes back on his word, uses the brass knuckles. And Michael Cole was apoplectic.
Oh, yeah, big time. Seemed like they were going to get a Logan Paul versus Michael Cole match going.
It seemed that way. Fun match. That frog splash off the top through the table. It looked like Logan Paul could have jumped into the crowd, basically.
Yeah, that dude's out.
He had air to spare on that. But yeah, the only question is how is Cody going to win, not if, at this point. So there's an inherent lack of drama in his bouts, as fun as they might be.
Yeah, they're good matches, but even I had mentioned this during the stream as well when Logan Paul hit, I don't know what it was, a frog splash maybe on Cody. Thought he'd get the win there. And he was doing the, oh my God, I thought I had him face, and nobody in the crowd popped because nobody thought that would be, an actual win. Let's talk about Cody though moving forward. SummerSlam is still less than 4 months away, 3.5 months away.
So we got Clash coming up here in about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then at about...
Let me ask you this about Clash. Drew has got to main event that show.
Yeah.
Cody sitting that one out?
I suppose if it's another 5-match card, it's possible.
It's only 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away.
Yeah,
3 weeks away. I think it's entirely possible that Cody... Maybe they'll do us... Because having Cody on the card is a big selling point.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a segment with Cody.
Maybe he'll be on the Grayson Waller effect.
The Grayson Waller effect with Randy Orton. You think they're going to... Well, let me ask you this. Do you think... So we got Clash of the Castle, and then we got Money in the Bank. Cody's got to have an opponent for Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm. Because you got to have the opportunity for cash in there. I honestly don't know. There seems to be a lack of heels on SmackDown.
It's true, yeah.
Like, is Solo going to get a title shot at some point?
They could do Lashley.
Yeah.
Lashley would be a good cash-in opportunity if somebody at least wants to tease it. Because he could wreck Cody. Cody barely escapes Lashley.
Yeah.
And then somebody, tries to, maybe I'll cash in on this guy. Who do you think's going to win Money? That's another thing. Money in the Bank's out there. Who the hell's going to win Money in the Bank and then have Punk if Punk is available for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he should win that probably.
Because here's the thing. If he gets injured during Money in the Bank but still wins it, then he's got a year.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is Lashley injured? Eric Clark says Lashley's injured.
Yeah, that's what he had to pull out of the King of the Ring tournament because of injury.
Okay. They could do a proxy for Randy Orton of sorts. Kevin Owens against Cody. I know it's two good guys, but I don't know. They could do that. It could be, hey, spirit of competition, all that bullshit,
Yeah, but then, of course, things get chippy because Kevin Owens wants to be champion.
Let's do Bronson Reed. Is that even the right brand? It's not even the right brand.
No, he's on Raw.
Yeah, he's on Raw. Speaking of which, the Intercontinental Championship was on the line. Sami Zayn, who got not just a fancy entrance, he got an entrance video.
Yeah.
They did the whole entrance
I don't know if they could
video.
Telegraph that win anymore.
I don't think so.
Again, the only question here was how is Otis going to let down Chad Gable and who is going to eat the pin?
Gave him a Stan Hansen lariat, Larson.
He did. Accidentally, though.
Yeah, he didn't do it on purpose. And then once he hit it, he realized, oh, my God, I fucked up. Oh, yeah.
Maybe he should have thought, that happened. It's bound to happen at some point.
You got to think there's a small part of him that was probably pretty satisfied with himself.
Oh, yeah, I would think so. One thing we haven't talked about. Oh, if you want to continue with the Intercontinental.
Go ahead.
Liv Morgan's WWE World Champion right now. After defeating Becky Lynch for some reason. Well, we could talk about the reasons. So apparently Dom Mysterio in the kickoff show said he's going to do whatever he needed to do to make sure Liv didn't win, and then basically effectively did everything he could to guarantee that Liv would win. So Becky has Liv in a disarmor. Dom comes to ringside. So, of course, Becky releases a hold and is like, Dom, get out of here. What are you doing? I don't need your help. So then Dom slides a chair into the ring and then distracts the ref. And, of course, Liv's the one that takes advantage and gets the win. She's new champion. So there's been a thing about, in videos and pictures where Liv has a purple bandana somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Getting out of a car with Finn Balor.
Yeah, and neither Finn nor Dom necessarily wearing the bandanas on a regular basis anymore that they used to. And Liv said, I'm going to take everything from you, Rhea.
So, you know how Judgment Day is always on the verge of breaking up?
Yeah, it has been for at least a year, if not longer.
Liv needs to come in completely, Liv should sort of, accidentally, somehow, some way be the reason Priest loses. Liv comes into Judgment Day. They just need to sort of do this. Liv ends up coming into Judgment Day, manipulating all the dudes there because they're big dummies. And Priest is like, whoa, this is fucked up. I'm not cool with it. But then she ends up costing Priest the title somehow, some way. Mm-hmm. She just needs to be this, this disease that infects Judgment Day. And so by the time Rhea shows up, not literally, dude. So by the time Rhea shows up, it's like it's just an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
It's always been a bit on the verge of being a mess, but like Liv needs to come in and be like the Yoko.
Yeah, that's what Peg Junk says here. Yeah.
Oh shit, really? Okay, I
Yeah.
did not say. I just thought of that myself. Yeah, there you go, Peg Junk. Thank you. Yeah. She comes in and she starts screaming in the mic and all that kind of stuff that Yoko used to say. Wah! All that kind of stuff.
While John's trying to rock out with Chuck Berry.
Yeah, right. And Chuck Berry's like, "What is happening right now?" But yeah, have her come in. I just don't know, like, how do you do that? Like, okay, it's like from a human perspective.
Yeah.
Dom is quote unquote with Rhea, right? How do you do the thing? How do you get past? Well, lives the thing now. That's tough. Being in friend situations where it's like, oh man, like there's your friend has his girlfriend that everybody likes. And then like all of a sudden she's on the outs and this new, one comes in, or vice versa with the women. There's a boyfriend that people like. He's out. New one comes in. We've all been in this situation. I'm kind of curious to see how they pull this off. It seems like that's the direction they're going somehow.
Yeah. I mean, if what they're going to rely on is subtler approaches to that kind of story, for example, Liv getting out of the same car as Finn. In the background, Liv leaving the same room that Dom did,
Well, at a certain point, it's going to reach ahead and it's going to be
exactly.
over.
It's got to blow up at some point, but so much of the build to that, it's not like Liv's going backstage trying to seduce people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Because that's I don't think I'd be terribly into that. But you get little hints along the way, and then things come to a head. That's different. That's a little more subtle, and that's 'cause that's the thing about the Dom and Rhea relationship, that it's always been very strongly implied that they're an item. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've always liked how they've approached that. Favorite Customers got a good idea. So maybe Liv gets him a tag team match and a win, and I think that's how they'd have to approach it. Liv helps them achieve their goals.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, at what point does she make herself comfortable in the Judgment Day clubhouse? That's a tricky thing to pull off.
It is.
That's a tricky thing to pull off.
Priest especially.
Oh, Priest is
does not like people coming in uninvited.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, so I honestly think that they could do some really fun, interesting stuff with that. Liv is this master manipulator type,
Yeah.
But and I don't know if it would require them straight up jumping Priest out of the crew. I don't know, because he is the guy that is always like, hey, no, man, no new people. And he really likes Rhea, obviously.
Yeah.
Even though he's always had. I mean, hey, Liv could come in and be like, hey, you know what?
You're the leader.
You're the leader.
I mean, that's the easiest way to appeal to Priest, is play to his ego.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff they could play with there.
Definitely.
And yeah, I guess we can just sort of dive into it. We got the general
let's get
beats.
after it.
Also, we'll just real quick before we do that, of course, we're in the middle of the latest Big Blue Predictions Challenge. It's Week of Champions. Things aren't looking so good for you, Larson, right now.
Got to take some chances. Double nothing tomorrow, I guess.
Gonna have to take some chances. I'm assuming you're thinking Christian Cage might have a good shot against Swerve.
No, I'm not going to go completely out on a limb.
Team AEW.
No, they're not winning.
Willow Nightingale. Interesting. All right.
See, that's a change in pick I might have to entertain a little bit.
All right. There we go. We know your status going in. Right now, there's no public leaderboard. So apologies to the friendos out there. Right now, there's no public leaderboard. You're just gonna have to, hold on tight, and maybe we'll get one of those up for you guys by tomorrow's stream. Of course, we will be doing a live stream, a reaction stream to Double or Nothing tomorrow, and so be sure to join us for that. And if you want in on the predictions challenge, it's still going. You can do that right now. By getting the Friendo Club set up. You also get bonus episodes with that and access to our question threads. You can check out the Friendo Club setup 2 different ways. One by clicking join right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson, or by going over to patreon.com/Steven Larson and clicking on the Friendo Club setup. Either way, it's $5 a month. You get the same thing no matter how you do it, but we offer 2 ways to do it for your convenience.
Yes. You're watching this video now, whether live, VOD. If you could, hit that like button. This one looks like a thumbs up. I guess it's more like this.
Hit the subscribe button, man. We've dropped off a couple subs.
We have. You know, there's a lot of enthusiasm around the WrestleMania period. You had The Rock around, so on and so forth. And I wonder if people are like, oh, The Rock's not around anymore. I'm not that excited about wrestling.
Yeah, I think anecdotally, like, you can kind of see that. Like, you know, the predictions don't do as good. Not as many people participating in the predictions challenge, you know.
No, I don't think people are as excited about wrestling now as they were in the build to Mania. I get it. I understand.
Oh, White Brownie bringing up Serena Deeb. You think Serena Deeb, you're going to be changing the Serena Deeb pick?
Ain't changing that one.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Anything that I got 5 or fewer confidence points on, I might entertain. I'd entertain a switch.
All right. Fair enough.
I got a lot of ground to make up, so I gotta pick an upset somewhere. Anyways, yeah, hit that like button, please. Hit the subscribe button as well and notify bell. Please and thank you.
Shout out to Chris Garrix for doing the notes again today.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris, you are absolutely a gem, and your notes are amazing.
Yes.
And you're so darn good at this, and it helps us a lot.
It really does, and we appreciate you very much, Chris. Thank you so much.
I actually got a big reaction out of you today from that Nia finish.
That was something else, man.
You actually blew up on that one.
I was not expecting an annihilator essentially off the second rope.
Yeah. Before we got to that match, though, it kicked off with the women's world title on the line. Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. Liv Morgan sporting some Britney Spears attire, it looked like.
Yeah.
I'm still not entirely sure what Becky Lynch is.
She was essentially wearing a tuxedo.
Yeah, she was wearing tux. A wrestling tux.
It's cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. You sort of mentioned the finish here. Dom Mysterio shows up. And during the kickoff, he had approached Liv Morgan, was like, I'm here to make sure you don't get mommy's title. Well, he made sure she did get mommy's title. He shows up.
It seemed like it was with intent as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he threw the chair out of Becky. He should know better. You know, he threw the chair to Becky. Ref was distracted. Then he gets up on the apron. And I think it's so like this is all like, oh, but he was there on purpose, right? Like his goal was to get Liv the title, right?
I would imagine. Yeah. I think the idea is like he's in terms of the public facing aspect of it. Oh, I want mommy to get her title back. But no, the ulterior motives, I'm sure. You would think would be, I'm here to help Liv.
Yeah. In any event, didn't help Becky because Dom slides that chair in, then starts distracting the ref, and then Liv hits her finish. Was it her finish?
She hits a DDT on the chair, then follows with Oblivion.
And then follows with Oblivion, to get the win here. Fun match, though. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
They gave it plenty of time. I love these 5-match cards. They give everything plenty of time, and then we're still done before the 3-hour mark.
Within 3 hours. I know it's great. And Cole was just upset.
Super upset.
That's kind of the theme of the show was Michael Cole being upset.
He's got to dial that down a little bit, man. He's going to find himself in a Jerry Lawler situation again. Nobody wants to see that.
So he's calling Dom a massive dummy.
Yeah, he said, you freaking idiot.
Yeah.
They should just let him drop the F-bomb. You
Why
fucking
not?
idiot, Dom. Why not? It's a premium live event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, we get the Intercontinental title match. You got Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable. During Bronson's entrance, we got the QR code pop up.
All sorts of videos. It seems like the videos now are Uncle Howdy recruiting the various members of, I guess,
appealing to would-be members of this faction. And I think it was Adam Beveridge saw on a Reddit post that told us about it, that there is a reference to the patron saint of travelers. I don't remember the name offhand. And that saint's feast day is June 17th, which is the Monday after Clash at the Castle. So it's possible that we could see Uncle Howdy and friends. Hi, I'm Bo Dallas. I'm Uncle Howdy.
Hi, Bo Dallas here. You might know me as Uncle Howdy.
It's TV's Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
And friends will make their debut then.
Mm-hmm.
So, what, 3 weeks away? A little bit more?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After that, boy, time is just going by so quick.
You got that right, buddy.
It really is. Anyways, after that, we had the actual match. Chad Gable and Bronson Reed challenging for Sami Zayn's Intercontinental Championship. Sami's super over in Saudi Arabia. And this is a fun match, of course. As Gable comes out with Otis, he sends Maxine to the back, much to her chagrin. They come out.
Because they come out together, and he's like, yeah, you're here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get to the back.
Makes sense, though. On Raw, she was not much help.
I know, but just, like, why not, when they're back there, just say, hey, it's just me and Otis today.
Manipulation. You know, you got to keep them under your thumb. You know, gaslighting and all that kind of stuff.
It's awful. It's terrible.
It is terrible. Anyways, he tells Otis, stick to the plan. When I tell you to do what to do, you do the thing. And he's like very reluctant. He's like, oh. And so it gets to the point there where so Reed rolls Sami in because Reed gets a suicide dive on Sami and Chad on the floor. That sets all this up. Mm-hmm. Reed rolls Sami in. He heads up for a tsunami, but Sami rolls out of the way. Reed eats shit. Sami charges in from the corner, goes for a haluva kick, but Gable picks him up mid-move, hits a couple of German suplexes on him. Sami breaks the third one and hits 2 German suplexes on Chad Gable. Reed comes in, goes for a German suplex, so he's trying to get them all into a German suplex. But the Gable runs around to the back of Reed and ridiculously hits a double German suplex on both Reed, who hits it on Sami. So down below, Gable starts screaming at Otis, who tackles Reed. Sami sends him out for Otis to do some damage. Otis contemplates, and Gable screams at him. He's like, he gets out, he holds Sami up. And Otis charges in, but then he stops him. Oh, no. He stops himself.
Not oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Not oh, yeah. Oh, no. And then Gable screams at him, shoves him, says, he shoves Otis. And Otis is like, oh. He's
definitely,
like,
oh, no.
Thinking I'm going to load up on this guy. And he's like, what are you going to do, you idiot? You going to hit me? Just do this. He slaps Otis. Holds Sami up. Of course, Sami's had time to come to. So Otis charges in. Sami gets out of the way. Stan Hansen lariat on Gable. Oh, no. Or is it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Sami gets in the ring, sees what happens down there. Reed's still coming to in the corner. Hits a hell of a kick. Gets the cover. Sami retains. And is still your Intercontinental Champion. Yeah. And meanwhile, they get this great shot of Gable just steamed.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Cool match, though. Fun stuff.
It was a fun match. That's one thing about this show. There wasn't a dud on it. All the matches were really good. All the matches were really, really good.
Yeah, man.
Then we get Byron backstage with Bianca and Jade. Yes. Is there a secret to your chemistry? It's a team. And then Jade says, no secrets. They stepped up, got stepped on. And they show off the titles. Byron sends it back to Cole and Corey. And then we get a Queen of the Ring video package with Wade Barrett. And it was Barrettology.
Barrettology.
Instead of bracketology. Barrettology.
Barrettology. I'm afraid I got some Barrett news. So, yeah, he talks about the brackets. Then we see A-Town Down Under, as well as DIY. We are taking in the event. You know, can I be honest with you?
Sure. Always.
Kind of the DIY theme is growing on me.
Oh, my gosh. This is a problem, Steve.
It is a problem.
This is a massive issue.
Nobody knows more than me.
Explain how it's growing on you. I don't.
Oh, dude. Because here's the thing. I watched, the SmackDown when they're on.
Yeah.
And it's and I'm like, whoa, what is my head doing right now? It's bobbing a little bit. Is that my foot? It's tapping. Oh, no.
Next thing you know, your hips are going to start shaking.
I might have some hip swiveling.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a problem.
I don't know if we could continue as a team if you become a proponent for the DIY theme. That might be the line in the sand that we can't get past, Steve.
After 30 plus years? Oh, my gosh. Not shocking.
Not me acting like a petulant child out the basketball court that's going to cause this.
You should not let that bother you.
I'm joking about it because it's an effort to make myself feel a little better.
Okay, good. Because it did not affect me in any way, shape, or form. Anyways, after that, we had where I don't even know where we are right now.
We are
At the Queen of the Ring finals. Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria. Speaking of whom, Valkyria had the coolest, because they do the full body stuff in Saudi Arabia because things are changing there. And dude, they did this video package about look at all this great stuff that we're changing here in Saudi Arabia. The little slash thing in the WWE logo
turned into a smile.
They fixed it all. They done fixed it, everybody. Anyways, speaking of which, by the way, so all these Saudi Arabia streams that we do.
Yes. We do fundraisers. We raise money for charities.
Yeah, and this time we did the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Enforcers charity of choice. Of course, you guys who've been around for a little while know that we lost our best friend, the Enforcer, last year due to complications from leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
And, he had dropped a couple update videos from the hospital prior to, and he was advocating for people to donate to that particular organization. And so that's what we did today, and we've raised over $1,200 so far, thanks to the Friendos. You guys are awesome. And it'll continue on. The link is going to be available in the description of this video. Hopefully we'll get a couple more donations, and it's a really great cause. And shout out to the Enforcer. We miss him every day. We think about him all the time.
Think about him every day. Miss you, Enforcer. So, Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria. Say it with me, Steve. Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria.
See, you were so close with Lyra. You were so close.
Am I though?
You were actually closer than most. This match was a lot of fun, and early on especially, Lyra was trying to out-wrestle Nia. But Nia has the power advantage.
Yeah.
So she wasn't really getting anywhere with all the wrestling moves, the drop toe holds.
You're not going to do a drop toe hold. Come on now.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So down towards the finish, Lyra heads up top, looks for a dive, misses. Nia hits her with another Samoan drop, drags her to the corner, looks for the Annihilator, but Lyra gets up and kicks out Nia's leg, and then hits a double stomp in the corner to get a 2. So Lyra heads up top this time and hits a top rope leg drop, gets another 2 count there. She looks for a Nightwing, can't hoist Nia. So Nia hits the splash in the corner, puts her up on her shoulders, looking for a Samoan drop off the second rope. Lyra escapes that, looking for a sunset flip power bomb. And while she's trying to pull Nia to get her off from holding on the ropes, Nia just hits the Annihilator on her right there.
Yeah. While
she's still sitting on, Lyra crosses her arms with a smirk on her face, knowing that was it. Match over.
Yeah.
Ref counts the pin. Nia is your Queen of the Ring. An awesome, out of nowhere finish.
Nia is doing such good work, man.
Yeah.
She absolutely 1,000% deserves this. And it's pretty great. As Clown here in our chat says, the match that we witnessed a Murther during.
Yes. It was pretty damn incredible.
And then Triple H transports into the ring. He just teleports out of nowhere. And he's got crown in hand. She takes a knee. He crowns her. And she gets up, trying to make sure this thing doesn't fall off there. Because it looks like it was a little back. You got to put a little forwards.
I know, yeah.
But she held on to it. It was good. She hugged him as she held on to it. She was like, okay, well, I can't do a hug without holding on to this thing. Yep. It's always funny to see the goofiness, like the unintentional goofiness of this shit.
Same. So then we're backstage.
Oh, wait a second. Kayla. Hold on a sec. Sorry.
What?
Yeah, Nia dropped a promo because Kayla interviewed her, said, what do you think about this? She was like, save it. I know none of you are happy for me, but I'm very happy for me. I'm going to be happier, and you're going to be angrier because I'll become the WWE Women's Champion. She didn't even say it. She said, I'll become the WWE Champion and your Queen of the Ring and your Queen at SummerSlam. And then she gets a shit ton of pyro. It was a cool moment for her.
It was great. And then we're backstage, and Byron's in the foreground. In the background, Becky is berating Dom Mysterio. And I like the idea. Someone brought this up in chat during the stream that in kayfabe, she's been screaming at him for an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
So she walks towards camera, and Byron says, "Hey, what happened?" And she goes, "I don't know what happened. I don't know why he was out there. I don't know what's going on about anything. All I know is I have a rematch clause, and on Monday, I'm getting my rematch."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She wasn't happy.
She was
Understandably
not
so.
happy. Not happy. Which is, I think, probably in advance of her contract expiring. So she'll be heading to Dynamite the next week.
Seemingly. Rebecca Quinn is all elite.
Becca Quinn, yeah. After that, we get more baratology for the men's King of the Ring. And then Gunther comes down. Orton's music hits. He walks down in the slowest possible fashion.
Ambulating.
Because the crowd loves that song, and they're all singing along with it. I have voices in my head. They talk to me. They talk to me. They
hit
talk to me.
RKOs.
They hit RKOs. Anyways, this match was awesome.
It was great.
Yeah, this was really, really good stuff.
It was good stuff. So Gunther starts out working over Orton's back. I can't remember what the move was offhand, but Orton sells back after it early in the match.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Gunther escapes trouble the first time, as Randy's getting back in the ring, he drop kicks him in the bad knee.
Mm-hmm.
This has been Gunther's thing throughout this King of the Ring tournament, as he finds it's like classic wrestling storytelling. You work a body part.
Yeah, right.
But the way he approaches it is so vicious and so tactical.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just putting on rest holds. He's putting on arm bars on people.
Yeah.
He's going out of his way to wreck his opponents.
It's like he gets people so distracted by the chops, the flashier thing.
Yeah.
That they have a hard time concentrating on defending that body part that he's decided to target. Yeah.
Yeah. So early on, or about halfway through, Orton hits an RKO, but his back is so messed up, he's slow to cover. And so eventually he starts getting close to Gunther. By that time, Gunther's come to enough that he rolls out of the ring. Yeah. And so Randy hits him with some belly-to-back suplexes on the announce table, rolls back in to break the count. Rolls back in to break the count, comes back out. Gunther pushes Orton to the apron, hits a huge chop. Goes for a powerbomb through the table, but Orton reverses that into another belly-to-back suplex. And then Randy hits another suplex on the table, and he grabs Gunther and puts him in the ring. That's when Randy gets in the ring, and as he's stepping through the ropes, Gunther hits the drop kick on the bad leg, and he just starts attacking that leg. More kicks, single leg crab. And then Randy escapes that. Hits an RKO. So Randy covers this time, but at this point, Gunther's worked the bad knee over enough that Orton can't put any pressure on it. Added leverage for the pin. So Gunther kicks out of an RKO.
Yeah.
And then with the crucifix pin, gets the win.
Yeah. Randy's shoulder was way up, but
the execution of the finish might not have been perfect, but the idea behind it, I thought was really solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're going to make Gunther look like an unstoppable machine, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Yeah. I wonder if it would have, it's a tough situation because as a ref, you know what the finish is going to be. And I know they're supposed to call, like we've heard anyways, we're supposed to call these things as a shoot.
Yeah.
But like, should the ref have done the thing where he like sticks the hand under the shoulder?
I thought that might have undermined the surprise aspect of the finish, you know?
I feel like you're right about that. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to do it, I guess, you know? And the replay, they tried to hide it somewhat. Even though you can still see Orton's shoulder way up.
Yeah. 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 So he escaped with the victory there over Randy Orton. And then Triple H reappears magically, teleports in.
Teleportation.
Hands the crown to Gunther, who does everything but put it on.
Ain't putting that thing on, man.
Yeah, we see Kevin Owens help Orton to the back. Gunther gets an interview. Crowd starts chanting, "You deserve it, you deserve it." Gunther with a big smile on his face. "Thank you. But what I do or do not deserve is none of your business. It feels great to be the king of the ring. Even better beating Randy Orton. So what happened today was the apex predator became prey for the ring general. The ring general became king of the ring, and at SummerSlam, I'll become the world heavyweight champion." He loved running that crowd down.
The whole time he was trying to laugh. I know that's how Gunther operates anyways, but it was especially so after he says, it's none of your business what I deserve.
Exactly.
The crowd starts booing him. He just wanted to
that.
laugh. He just wanted to laugh so much. Then we get the announcement that Crown Jewel, November 2nd, in Saudi Arabia.
November 2nd, so the same month as Survivor Series, like 3 weeks.
I think last year
Survivor.
it was the same deal last year. Where early November they had Crown Jewel, and then Survivor Series. I think it was Thanksgiving weekend last year.
Crown Jewel is Roman versus LA Knight. Yeah.
LA Knight win that match.
This year, LA Knight was behind commentary talking to some little kids. Should have had some popcorn.
Should have.
Yeah.
Then we get a Triple H interview, and he says, "I got breaking news. Drew McIntyre has been cleared, so he'll face Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title at Clash at the Castle."
There you go.
And then we got our main event. We had Ibrahim Al-Hizaz do this ring announcing for this match, and that's important because it plays into the finish of the bout.
It does, yeah.
And so Michael Cole, I guess there was a thing on SmackDown where there was like essentially a contract signed that Logan wouldn't use, or at least a verbal contract. I haven't seen it, where Logan wouldn't use the brass knuckles in this match. In fact, Michael Cole had him in hand at commentary before the match began.
Yeah, it was a pre-knuck.
Yes, that's
what Cole called it.
But unfortunately, there are still brass knuckle manufacturers that are continually making brass knuckles. Therefore, it's easy for Logan Paul to obtain additional brass knuckles.
I'm gonna see if you can get them on eBay.
Well, but see if you can get them on Amazon.
Because is it considered like a weapon?
Maybe. Anyways, main event time. Okay, so Forgotten Media says interview on Thursday where Logan handed the brass knuckles to Michael Cole. Thank you,
Dude, you can get these things for as little as... Wait, that's a pin for a motorcycle biker vest. Oh, wow. A leather knuckles lighter case? What the fuck? Brass knuckles. Here we go. Wait, no, that's a pendant.
So maybe you can't get them on eBay.
Well, okay, brass knuckles, collectible, vintage, pinned. Again, that's for a jacket. Yeah, maybe they're too dangerous to sell on eBay.
Could be.
Can you get guns on eBay?
Anyway, this match was solid. Lacking the drama a bit because no chance that Logan Paul was going to win, but there were some creative spots, some fun stuff. You had Logan like blocking when Cody does the drop down uppercut. Logan blocks that. It seemed like they were watching tape on their opponent.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way.
Scouting. It was good. So down towards the finish, Logan hits a frog splash off the top rope through the one of the announce tables, and he had this great drone shot where it circles around Logan. The timing of it was perfect because after it circled around him, as it was circling around towards the back of Logan, is when he made the leap off the top rope to the table, and so you get a perfect shot of him leaping, going, and putting Cody through the announce table. It was really well done. I assume they had to have choreographed that somewhat.
So this is crazy.
Rehearsed that. What?
I have an update for us.
Sure.
As some people in chat are pointing out, brass knuckles are banned in many parts of the country, which is insane given what isn't banned in this country. But that's neither here nor there. Also, what's not banned, apparently, are full-on Wolverine claws that you can wear.
What the hell?
These are knives in the form of Wolverine claws that you can put on, and yet brass knuckles are illegal. That's nuts.
Pretty crazy.
What a weird world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Anyways, getting back to this match. By that point, though, Logan already punched Cody in the gut with brass knuckles.
Yeah.
That happened fairly early on. One of Logan's dudes was sitting ringside and gave him some brass knuckles, so Cody leaps off the ring steps. Logan hits him in the gut with brass knuckles when the ref wasn't looking. Going back to the frog splash. So Logan puts Cody in the ring, hits another frog splash off the top. Cody kicks out. Again, Logan's stunned. Nobody else in that building is, though. So then Logan yells at Cody, "I hate you," and hits some body shots. And we get a ref bump in the corner where Cody kind of puts the brakes on before hitting the ref, but then Logan runs into him. Definite ref bump. Earlier on, Cody had teased a vertebreaker, which I am
Yeah.
shocked that they allowed him to hit that move. He
Yeah,
hits
for
it
sure.
here, covers, but there's no ref. So Cody goes and tries to wake up the ref. Logan hits him with a low blow, pulls out another, or the same, the bit of brass knuckles. He loads up. It's about to punch. Ibrahim grabs him by the leg. So Logan screams at him. That's enough of a distraction. So when he turns around and punches Cody, Cody's come to enough. He catches the punch with the brass knuckles. And according to Chris Garrick's notes, I didn't hear this. It says, "I'm Cody Rhodes, bitch."
That's great.
And then hits 3 crossroads to get the win.
There you go. Bohemian Baron here says, legal expert here. Brass knuckles aren't banned, but they are valid CCW arrests in the same way knives over 3 inches and handguns are. I
Interesting.
don't know what CCW stands for. I guess we'll find out more at some point.
I guess so.
Anyways, yeah. Yeah, so that's your King and Queen of the Ring. Up next is Clash at the Castle coming up in about 3 weeks. That'll be a fun one. The Scottish crowd, the Glasgow crowd.
Yeah. It's not a stadium show. I thought it was gonna be a stadium show, but it's at an arena.
Yeah. Have they sold out yet? Do we know? They were having problems doing that because it's so expensive.
Outrageously expensive.
Oh, I'm not going to pay that much. I can't pay that much.
$500 to have seats up in the Northern Highlands, essentially.
You think Gallus is going to be revealed as Drew McIntyre's buddies?
That'd be pretty neat.
That'd be pretty awesome there in Glasgow. Hey, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We've got our star. Are we going to do our star ratings later, Larson?
I'm not going to have the time to do them today.
Oh, wow.
But first thing tomorrow morning, absolutely.
Boy, our freshness is falling off, Larson. It's falling
Hey, man,
off.
it's the weekend. I got obligations sometimes, you know.
I'm not going to complain about. Oh, that's right. You got your big thing at your house, huh? All right. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I am going to be chilling today. So thanks. Oh, concealed carry weapon. There you go. That's what the CC is. Learn something new every day, Larson.
What if you don't conceal it? You get arrested then? You walk around with brass knuckles on your hand all the time? Is that, you're
balled up, fist balled up like this?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyways, I was going to do it for the show. What if you have like 4 rings that all connect? It's a ring that has a thing right here. You put it on and then you go like that.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I don't know. It depends what it's made out of. Because
as long as you don't conceal it in your trunks. You know? Yeah, it could be.
I don't know.
Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today.
What's the hardest metal? Do you know?
Adamantium.
All right. That's the correct answer.